Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready for God's Recording Podcast. The God's Recording Podcast. The God's Recording Podcast. The God's Recording Podcast.
I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Psalm 122.
What's up, my brothers and sisters in Christ? I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. Well, even though y'all saw an episode earlier, but this is my first time being live in the year 2026. This is Reverend Bertram BJ Major, and this is the God's Recording Podcast. It's great to be back here in 2026 live, and y'all, there's no better way to start off this year than with an awesome interview. This afternoon, I interviewed my pastor. As y'all seen that was a great episode. Somehow, my pastor ended up interviewing me doing his highlight. I don't know how that happened. But anyways, but y'all go check that back out later. But y'all, let me tell you this. When I tell you all, I have been waiting for months for this interview. Let me tell y'all the background. I could show y'all better than I can tell y'all. Hold on. Y'all want to see some history. Y'all want to see some history. Let me tell you how far back me and my guests go. Let me see. Can I find it? I know I got it. This flyer is from 2012. Now, this is around the time I was on the PG network with God's Recorder, and TBII was one of the first artists I highlighted ever on God's Recording. And that's not nothing, y'all. Let me show y'all something else. So the last time I interviewed him was for this variation of God's Recording, the God's Recording Motivational Gospel Show. This was the last time I interviewed him back in 2013. So y'all, it's been a minute, long overdue, that I had him back here on the God's Recording Podcast. And I'm just gonna go ahead, because I'm gonna give this man his flowers while he here today. Let me tell you, TB2, whether he realizes it or not, has been a big part of my ministry, even though, because let me tell you this, I have watched God bless him over the years. When I won Podcast of the Year, let me tell y'all this, it was a joy to not only meet him, but he interviewed me on the red carpet, my first real red carpet interview. Come on now. And I have been watching him for years, and to be up there receiving an award, I was so humbled, because I'm like, I've been watching him and so many others that were there that I have interviewed on here over the years. And honestly, let me just be real. He reached out to me for this interview, but really, I've been wanting to interview him for a minute, but it's just like, God knew when it was the right time, and now it was the right time. And honestly, I'm so humbled that he reached out, because I personally want to know more about this. I want to know more about this. Y'all ready? Yeah, I don't think y'all really ready for this. But guess what? If you're not ready, get ready, because I'm about to bring him in. Please welcome award-winning. I'm silly tonight. I miss y'all. Award-winning gospel recording artist, none other than the one and only TBII.
What's up, man?
Man, what's up?
Man, listen, you should shoot them old pictures. You should throw them away.
Let me tell you this.
No, don't throw them away. That's history, man.
Yeah, I'm glad my flyer making skills done gotten better. Y'all can see me with out.
Right.
Man,
you know, everything grows over time, prayerfully.
Yeah,
so
most definitely. But it's amazing. I first highlighted him February 2012, and here we are, January 2026. So, man, I normally like tell you to say welcome or whatever, but really, I'm just so ready to get into these questions. Because literally, when you reached out to me and told me, I gotta show this one more time, because this cover right here, I tell you, it's off the chain.
We thank Level Up Graphics, Gerard Holmes. He Shout out to Keenan Hobbs who did the photo shoot or whatnot. Shout out to my little bro, which is the executive producer of this project, Jatan Walker. This is all him. And shout out
Mhm.
to Paisley and Gray for that jacket, because yes,
Because let me tell you, normally I save a question like this for the end, but what got me with this is this awesome cover, but the title, Thurman's Journey, the One More Day Experience. So
yes.
I want you to go ahead off the bat right now. Tell us about this album right now. Tell us about it.
Well, first of all, thank you for allowing me to come on again. I can't believe it's been that long. Time has definitely done us well, and time has definitely moved. But the Thurman's Journey, the One More Day Experience, is it's really a live session. So back in hey, back what is this 2026? So back in 2021, 21 to 22, no, it's 21. Um, One More Day for my last album had came out, and it took off and clearly, and we're grateful for that. And so me and my wife, shout out to my wife Sandy, we wanted to produce a live session. I didn't want to come up with a concept video for the song. I just wanted the live session to be the visual for it, and so I flew out my background singers team, D and Crystal, my business partner JP CEO came out, and then my executive producer, my producer slash MD Jatan, he put the band together. The wonderful thing about this whole session is that everybody met for the first time that day. It was what happened. Only God could have made it happen the way that it happened. The album, the live session is really just kind of like the interpretation of my first two albums till now. So it's like from then till now. It's from dark to light, things of that nature. And it really is just the journey of a man still in process and still in progress. So my journey is still in progress. And while I'm in progress, I'm still processing. We're dealing with the aftermath of pivotal deaths that I've had that I've always been open about, me being clean from cocaine, things of that nature, and me just trying to navigate this thing called life and really get an understanding of not just who I am, but who I am in this moment. And so this live session, as we describe it, it's your church in the car. It is it is probably the most raw, honest, and very much churchy, but most freeing experience as far as my catalog is concerned that I've ever done. And the beautiful blessing in it is that um, while I still maintain my sobriety and doing what I need to do to maintain my healing, me sharing this experience also opens up for conversation for those that may not be, what I'm saying, in the best place as far as their walk is concerned. Whether you're saved or not, this is the type of record that allows you to really be vulnerable. The project is really about, especially for us as Black men, right? It is important that we have safe spaces to be able to be vulnerable without being made to look less than, right?
Mm,
And
yeah.
one of the main things that this project is really hitting on is God is meeting us where we are. He met us where we were that day. We came in on a God agenda, right? I mean, there was deadlines and things of that nature. There was an outline of what we wanted to do, right? But we allowed God to come in and basically flip all of that and throw us around real good.
Hmm.
But in the midst of that, something was birthed out of there that it kind of just um, the best way I could say it is that, like, so you look at it like this. I was done with music, pretty much. I was pretty much probably like, I think I had my spell. The industry knew who I was. Parts of the world have become accustomed to me. I've done enough great work that I was like, okay. And I had enjoyed being at home, right? I had enjoyed building my home life, and I hadn't really thought about the singing music thing anymore. I don't think I had missed it. I think I was just like, okay, we're good. But if you ever want to make the Lord laugh, tell him your plan.
Mm.
And he used my brother Jay, who just would not let it go. And as he would say, he said, "No, there's still stories to tell. There's still people that need to know God can, will, what God can and will do. From the highest of the high to the lowest of the low, nobody is above being reached by Him." And so when he got the sound engineer, Chris Grimsley, shout out to him, and got our boy Sam as far as the videographer is concerned for the actual film that coincides with the album. It was really about me finding the love for music again. It was
Mm.
really about me finding myself back in this. And once they had really started putting loving touches on the record and making sure that the sound and stuff was up to par, and when they presented the first draft of the record, I was like, oh, okay, all right, maybe we can do this. And then when we got the finished version together and we got the film done, it was like, oh, okay, we really doing this.
Mm.
And then the album got done, and then it was like I had released just another day, as a teaser single from the session, and just feeling the warmth of people. It was like, man, we've missed you. It's and God really was just like showing me like this. You're not done. Not till I say you're done. Like there's still enough of me and what I put inside of you that still needs to be heard. There still is a generation of people that needs to hear your sound, because your sound delivers them and heals me in the process. And
Mm.
so the Thurman's Journey, the One More Day experience, I wanted this live record to be the setup for what else is coming, because I'm not done now.
Mm.
But this live session really is me, flaws and all, bad notes and all, whatever. It wasn't about being perfect. We were allowing a perfect God to come and interrupt our plan, and what happened that night that you all are going to hear and see versus with the film. But what you all are going to hear is something that is honest. It's very transparent, um, and in my personal opinion, is a healing salve, especially now with what's going on in the world today. People need to know that God is real, like for
Mm.
real. And I'm not talking about Bible thumpers and all that. Whatever you do, like, people need to know that the Lord is there. He has us in His hand, and as
Mm.
long as we continue to keep acknowledging Him, what I'm saying, He'll keep us and He'll lead us and direct us to better days will come. And it just, I think this experience, this a lot of people been wanting a live record from me for years,
Mhm.
years. And I was just like, the business side of it is what I always be like, and then making sure you got the right people that know how to carry the sound. But we got it. We got it, and the Lord definitely blessed us. And I'm really probably more excited about this project than my previous ones before. And it's not that it's better. I just think it's I'm mature. I'm older. Um, my view in regards to what the Lord has for me and wants me to do in this vein of work and ministry and life and entertainment and things of that nature, my mindset is just a little different. When I first came out back in them early days, I
Mm.
was hungry. And not that I'm not hungry now, but I was trying to prove a point then. You know,
Mm.
now I ain't proving the point. Point's proven. At this stage of life, it's like, look, I do it because God gave it to us to do it. And I'm happy about what we got out of it. And I look forward to the conversations that will come from it because of the transparency and the honesty and how we gave all of what we had in that session.
Mm. Wow. Now, the whole time you was talking, the same word kept popping in my mind: encounter,
Oh,
encounter, kind of having an encounter with God. And I love how you say it's going to be, flaws and all, because
yeah.
when it comes to the last recording, of course, people, most artists will say, well, I got to be perfect, but the what you're trying to do in my opinion, from hearing you, just not only you are just being yourself
Yes.
ministering, but you want others to come just as they are, just by listening and being a part of this and receiving an encounter from God.
Yeah. Like we didn't like now listen, I'm not, I'm a stickler. I am a stickler for,
Yeah.
we try to get it as we try to get it as close to perfect, as close to a masterpiece as we can. There's no such thing. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's no such thing. And and it wasn't like, this is not no, oh, just go in, turn the recorder on and go and then throw it out there. No, there were edits and there were things that were done and things of that nature. But what you all are going to hear is truly how it happened.
Mm.
Yeah, there's some things that were cleaned up just sound wise and things of that nature, and
Mm.
notes, you fix certain things, you do what you need to do. But if you overcompensate trying to fix a thing, you'll never release it.
Mm.
So and seemingly this needed to be released. It's going to be released. We have to get God's sound back in the earth. Got to.
Mm.
But I also think that we have to have the right. Um, you got to make sure you know what his sound is. Now, let me be clear. I ain't saying what I'm releasing is the sound, to the totality of it. It's just the sound God gave us. It's what we released, and He put His seal of approval on. And when I
Mm.
say flaws and all, yeah, there's some notes that's not right. Um, there's some parts that might, but what live show you have been to that don't have its mistakes? I'm not even calling it a mistake. I'm just calling, we were overwhelmed with emotion. The session took over. The Lord really just like threw us around, and because our hearts were raw and open and receptive to what it was that was happening in the moment, whatever came out came out.
Mhm.
God don't require perfection, so why should I? You know what I'm saying? He requires progress. You know what I'm saying? He don't require perfection, because ain't nobody walking around here perfect but him. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that it's important. My whole catalog has not necessarily been perfect. It's just my sound. It's just I don't know how to be nobody but me. I don't.
Mhm.
I don't know how to be nobody but me. And because I do me well, this is what you're getting. I just think that this project is a version of me today that's just like, you know, I just want people to experience what we did. That's all.
Mm. And for those who are listening, whether you're watching this live or on replay, I want to tell you all, I've only seen him minister in person once, and that was back in 2024 at the Music Love Awards. I had my wife there next to me. On the other side, my wife was my best friend, Amor Shay.
What up?
And one thing I have talked about a lot with my wife and my friends, well, most of my close friends, is the people I have met and I know, and the music artists I have met, and TB2 has been one of those. And I remember that night TB2 was coming, it was coming up time for him to minister, and they looked at me and said, "Have you ever been a part of him ministry in person? Have you ever seen him in person?" I was like, "Nope." What's
Oh
about to go
wow.
there? And I was like, I got my fan that yes, like God's about to move like no other. Just get ready. Just get ready. Just to get ready. I was like, I'm only to listen to his music in my office and play on my broadcast. And I nearly fell out then, in my office. But I told them God's about to move. And I
Wow.
encourage you all to um get this and just truly let go and let God take over. And so, I'm honest, and I'm not saying this because he's right here. I say this behind his back. I'm looking forward to this. So I want to know, and I want you to tell everybody when they can expect all this to be released and out there.
All right. So, ooh, look at you. All right. Well, whatever. That's fine. So, the album, the live session, Thurman TV from yours truly, TV2, Thurman's Journey, the One More Day Experience, drops March the 20th, my birthday weekend. My birthday's March the 22nd. So the album drops March the 20th. I believe pre-order is actually going to start February the 1st. And because we got some other things coming in the pipeline as far as rollout and all those different things. The film that's attached to it starts doing screenings in March, and it goes all the way. I'm taking this. Me and my producer Jay, we're taking the film itself on the road on tour from March to October. So we'll be doing screenings in a couple of different cities leading up to the official worldwide release in October, on my network on Unheard TV, with my business partner and our partnership with Roku, Amazon, and Apple TV. So that's happening in October. But the album is coming. The album officially drops March the 20th. Pre-orders will start February the 1st. And y'all already know how I am about promoting, so I'm gonna get on everybody's nerves about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
But it's and you know what, bro, I'm really excited. I'm nervous in a good way, but I'm excited about this record because it's honest.
Mm,
Some folks in the industry would probably say it's too honest, but when have I ever cared about what they say?
that's right.
So, but the Lord really met us, and I was just, as a matter of fact, I was actually listening to the record the other day, like a couple days ago, and I was really listening to it, and I was like, "This, I'm ready to throw this joint out now. I'm ready to throw this joint out now." But I'm like, "Nah, gotta follow." But to hear it now, um, which is now what, 5 years later, and hearing just it takes me back. It does. I let my background singers, they've heard the completed version, or no, they did, they heard the completed version, and they were just like, my soprano Crystal. She said the video. Oh, I can't wait to see it. But she said the video of her reaction just in the car, boo-hooing, just crying. And but that's what it's really about. I really want people. Some people are not going to be able to go to the building. They're not. Some people are not going to be able to. Some people don't want to go to. So sometimes you got to deposit it where you can deposit it at.
Mm,
And this, as Jay said, and this is what we said, this is your church in the car. This is your. I think the record, the album is only it's 30 minutes.
mm.
It's like a 30-minute the whole live session is 30. It's like 30 to 40 minutes, I think. But it you'll feel like you get out the situation. You know how you drunk in the spirit. When you drunk in the spirit, you slay, and they'd let you lay down on the floor, and you didn't know you were still on the floor. And then with service that moved on, and then when you come to, you hear them do an offering, and you wake up like, it's that, you
Mm,
know. And the thing about it is that sometimes it's all you need.
that's true.
I
That
wasn't. We're not concerned that the goal is for it to touch as many lives and hearts as it can worldwide, whatever and whatever that number is in God's eyes, we're satisfied with that. It's not about playing for the charts. This one really is about the hearts. And anything that'll be coming out from me afterwards I'm on that same page. I've done the chart thing. We've had fun with that. It's great. It's done, and it's afforded me a great opportunity to be able to travel all over the world and have my music travel and do all those different things. We on heart music now because we got heart problems. So we need heart music to heal our heart problems. And for me, this is definitely, and there are a lot of people that were coming up that were out here when I was out here, like Dio, like my boy Emil, and Davis, who just dropped something. Like, I'm watching us, I guess, old schoolers come back now, and because it's fun again. And the mindset is just different. There's a different purpose this time around. It really is about making sure we leave something in the earth that will live on and be able to help those coming down the line. Even when we gone, it'll
mm,
still hold somebody over. So
it, I'm not trying to preach. I was reminded
come on
of
and preach. You got the word. Come on, come on.
no, I was reminded of the woman who had the alabaster box and anointed Jesus' feet with the perfume,
Hmm.
and people, even the disciples, was having problems with that. Long story short, Jesus said, she's doing this for my burial. This is going to be a memorial for her. So the question I want to ask you all out there is how you're going to be remembered.
See what I'm saying?
Mm,
What have you put in the earth that when you are dead and gone, what will they say? Everybody gonna have something to say, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. But the question that I would ask that is of the utmost importance today, that is of the utmost importance in this day and time that we're walking in, what have you done that when you leave here will leave such a lasting impact, right? That God will forever make your name reign and ring in the wind. You'll always be brought up in conversation. You just got to make sure that you do what needs to be done that showcases how you're presented. People are
Mm.
going to say whatever, but what are you doing about how you present yourself so that when you're gone, listen, there are many things that can be said about me. I'm wild, I'm loud, I'm crazy, I'm all over the place. But one thing that also other things that I know that can be said. Uh, Karen, yes, I can sing. We got it. We understand that. But at the core of me is always wanting to see people be better. And
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is that I could do, that the Lord, whatever it is that the Lord gave me that allowed me to be able to have some form of level of influence to where people are receptive to what it is I have and what I do, that's what I want to be remembered for. You know what I'm saying? I want to be remembered for putting out quality projects that when you push play, you like this. Now that's Joker. No, he was singing. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you hear this record and you just be like this. Like it hit me in a different place. When people hear this session, I am prepared. I really am. I'm really preparing myself for the work that comes with the project. What I mean by that is that that's the reason why the album comes out first, and then we're doing the rollout for the film because the subject matter of the film and how it ties with the album, how they go hand in hand, it's something that is really going to spark conversation with a lot of people across the. I believe this now more than ever than I did before across the world because these are honest conversations that need to be had. I've lived my life and I've always worked in my music career by being transparent and honest. And I'm gonna tell on myself before I let you tell on me because you'll add this, that, and the third to what it is that I know. I'm just gonna tell my truth so I can be free of it and I ain't gotta talk about it no more. Which in this case is a little bit differently because it's going to be in film form and album form. But the healing type of conversations, the healing that was going on when we were filming, it was a 2 day, it was a 1 day shoot. We did a 1 day shoot and we was all over, and had to fly out to Phoenix, Arizona. Shout out to my boy Esquire, my cousin, customer hair had me right, basking lather for the beard, but it was um it was an all-day shoot. And the subject matter that was delivered in the film was some heavy things, and it wasn't heavy like I was talking about somebody else's story. I was talking about me
Mm.
because this project is what do you do after you've told on yourself
Mm.
after you've told on yourself, what do you do when what you've said tries to come back?
Mm.
You freed yourself from it, right? And you'd have
Mm.
wore the t-shirt, wrote the song, and traveled and did everywhere with it. But what do you do when that residue from that past tries to creep back on? What do you say, or how do you effectively still continue to stand in sobriety and deliverance when it's easier to fall back? What do
Mm-hmm.
you do when you profess healing and you are already in a healed space, only to find out you're not as healed as you thought you were? That's this project. That's
Mm.
this. This is the again. I'm not waiting on nobody to tell on me. I'm telling on me. Scripture teaches us they were overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the words of their testimony. The reason a lot of people around folks are not healed is because you still quiet about what God freed you from. You're too concerned about the thought processes of what people may think when you reveal your truth, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. Who cares? If what you went through, God brings you out, and what you say is to be a help to who's coming up that you may or may not even know is stuck in what you got free of, it is our responsibility as blessed born believers to, once you cleaned up and free, now go back to where you got free from and pull somebody else out. It is, to me, it is the liking of, and I'm using this, I'm using this. You know, I'm this year, I think it's 12 years, I think now. It'll be 12 years, 11 or 12, I think it's 12. 12 years clean from cocaine, right?
Praise God.
You know, and that's a blessing. It really is.
Mhm.
But my job is, in that there's a connection that I always have to it, right? Because it was a issue. But because the Lord has freed me from that, I'm able to effectively minister to someone else who's stuck in it. I know the signs. I know what they look like. Don't necessarily have to be cocaine. I just know what addictive behavior looks like in the midst of grief and depression. I know what it looked like. And my job is to, my older sister, when my mom died the year before hers did, right? Time. She told me when we found out her mom died, I came and heard up and found out where she was at. And her older sister, they requested that I speak, not give a eulogy, but give some words or whatever at their mom's homegoing. And what I was able to get up there and say is a revelation that the Lord gave me when I was dealing with with the deaths in my family. They don't leave here until God confirms to them that whom they're gonna leave behind will be all right. Let me say it again. For those of you out there that are listening currently or will listen to this replay and you're dealing with grief, loss, or whatever the case may be, and you feel you feeling some type of way, what will help you in your grieving process is not the totality. What will help you in your grieving process, those that you have lost, right? They don't leave here, especially if they know the Lord. They don't leave here until God confirms to them that whom they're going to leave behind, which is you and whoever, will be all right. The job then becomes, you are to do what you would what they left you here doing. You are to honor them by literally doing what they knew you would be able to do, which is live. Doesn't mean it's not going to have a process. Doesn't mean that it doesn't get hard. Doesn't mean that you don't feel some type of way. But it does get better as long as you do the work towards better. Because if you really want to honor who you've lost, live. That's honoring them. They left here with the reassurance from the Lord that not only would you get through this, but you would get through this and be all right as well as prosper. So now your job is to prove God right, right? And so with that, I think the thing that people have to understand is, I am the type of artist that I sing it, I say it, I connect with you with where you at with it, you know, and I believe that the Lord has used me many times as a chosen vessel to be able to open the atmosphere for you to be able to receive what you need from God. I'm not nobody's prophet, don't want to be. I am not nobody's pastor, not interested. I am not trying to start a church. Okay. I just do what the Lord say, and I position myself even under our leadership, Pastor Andre and Lady Bradley. We position ourselves to serve effectively under them and receive what we're supposed to. But also in the midst of that, my job is to create safe spaces. I got to create safe spaces for true, transparent healing to happen. I want spaces and conversations to happen. That's why I said I'm preparing, working out, getting myself together for this long road. Because this is gonna be a road. This is gonna be a journey. Y'all gonna be on this journey with me. Because I'm going into different places that your big wigs won't go in, because it's not quote unquote lucrative to them. The scripture already teaches us is that your gift will make room for you and present you before great men. So if the money is your concern, you need not be concerned about that, because as long as you work the gift and the capacity that he created you in, that's guaranteed. Like I said before, it ain't about the charts. We on hearts. And if my job my job above all is to effectively impact at least one. I don't have to focus on the millions. Just go get the one. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them situations, that We just do what we do. You know what I'm saying? So,
You know, it's rare that I be speechless.
oh wow. Okay.
I'm honestly I'm speechless because honestly, if y'all missed that, don't worry, just go back and rewind after the episode and catch it because when I tell you I got so much confirmation because
Wow.
you could tell how God uses people.
Mm,
Because I know y'all, I pray that y'all receive it because I know I did.
wow.
It's a lot of stuff he just said hit on my journey where I'm at now because I'm not at the same exact place he has been, but I'm at a place where when me and him first connected, I was a totally different BJ.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he said something perfectly how I felt. It was a point in time I said I had so much fire when I started God's recording.
Mm-hmm.
But something just it's just something changed in those middle years. But now it's just like I never lost the fire,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just God was getting me ready for something bigger. Not
Correct.
me,
Mm-hmm.
but for others to see him. Because one thing me and TB2 got in common, what you see is what you get. We're gonna tell it like it is. And at the end of the day, I can care less about what people think. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. No.
and and one thing I can say about TB2 is that he would have you cracking up laughing. He would have you. I mean, y'all. He's the only person that could crash my podcast.
Mm-hmm. Ain't gonna do it again. Ain't gonna do it again this year.
And I'm cool. I'm cool with him and Phyllis Warren crashed my
Mm-hmm.
podcast a few years back. I pretended like I was mad, but I was really saying, man, I was waiting on that. I was wondering when they was gonna come.
Well, we've developed that type of bond. You know what I'm saying? And when people don't understand, it can become confusion. Never on no disrespect. Never,
Mhm.
never on no disrespect. It's just that when you have made a connection with people, and I'm talking about this ain't no industry connecting. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no industry connection, whatever. This just on some. Hey, we good family, good people. You know what I'm saying? And also when you believe, right?
Yes.
When you believe in what God has instilled in the people that you're connecting with, you understand better. As I say, you understand better by and by. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, and I think what you said is very key. It's like, look, the fire, I won't even say, well, no, I ain't gonna say that. The fire can die down because sometimes you become exhausted, right? You become exhausted and it can be overwhelming. And sometimes you're so overly consumed with the charge that you forget you need to recharge. Um, and and sometimes you burn yourself out, which then it just throws you off. But as you get older and you get to live your life and you understand God more and more as time goes on, and when he delivers you back to these type of situations, you be like this, you know what? We all right. And you have a different conviction now, right? The fire, the fuse is lit differently because it hits you differently now. You know what I'm saying? God has met you somewhere else where it's reignited an old passion, but it's being directed in a different way. And that's what's exciting about returning this way. I was very intentional of when I started to get ready to do the rollout. And he said something, y'all, that y'all didn't catch earlier, but I'll let y'all, I'm gonna say it for you again. This was months ago. This right here was booked months ago last year. I reached out. I am being very intentional of reaching out to platforms that have one always been supportive. Two, I believe in what their platform represents. And I'm being very intentional and strategic about the outlets that I'm choosing to subject myself to, as well as this new project to, because everybody is not going to be equipped to handle what this project carries. And I'm accepting of that, and I'm all right with that. But
Mhm.
as far as my own personal rollout, you know what the greatest part about returning this time around is? I am on my own terms. I am on my own calendar. I am on my own money. I am on my own time. And above anything else, I am on God's agenda with this on how to maneuver, when to talk, when not to talk, when to roll out, when not to roll out, when to appear and when not to appear. I have developed the strongest discernment of keeping my peace,
Mm-hmm.
and just making sure that I wanted this round to feel um, more home, more personal. I wanted you to be the first one to kick off this rollout, because I've always loved you, and I've always loved God's recording. Just because, not just because I was on, and like you, I'm not just saying this because I'm on here. We got a bond. We have a brotherhood that's going to always be what it needs to be. Recording podcast music or not, we made a connection over 14 years ago that has since lasted all these years, and so much has happened. Both married, what I'm saying, you got your babies, thing. This is, it's happening the way it's supposed to happen, right? And I think that because time has served us well, I want to encourage folk right there: sit down when you need to sit down. it,
Mm.
it
Come on.
really is okay. I know you'll have people, and I'm not even gonna go that route because we ain't got that type of time. I know you have people in the church world or wherever that have so many different opinions, thoughts, concerns, worries. But if God ain't presented none of them worries to you, sit down. Because it is better that you go sit down and get yourself together and get healed. And not even if you hurt, just take a break. Just take a break. Give your brain a relief. You know what I'm saying? Go catch you a flight. Go get in the car, take you a trip. Go somewhere where they don't know your name, and get somewhere where you can just have peace and just be quiet, even if it's just down the street. Listen, let me tell you something. Some of my most peaceful times outside of, my family, but sometimes when I need to just eject myself from life, I will go sit in my car. Ain't nothing on,
I know that's right.
just sit there, you know, just sit there. And because sometimes you just need to take it in, breathe, get yourself detoxed or whatever's been filling up on you. You know what I'm saying? And recharge yourself and have conversations in prayer with the Lord, and really just be like, Lord, listen, let me shake this off of me. You know what I'm saying? Shake it off, do what needs to be done. Protect your peace at all costs, because what good is it that you go out here and deliver all these messages and sing all these songs and record all these podcasts, and you still not 100%?
Mm.
Pouring into everybody else with nothing to pour. What is that? How are we doing that? We didn't see enough of everybody literally walking on fumes. They always use to say, bleeding while bleeding. Sit down and stop bleeding.
Hmm.
Stop bleeding all over the people. And then they got to deal with 20 years of you just to get to God. No, no. Protect your mental health. Protect your mental health, your spiritual health, and your physical health. Sit down.
Mm-hmm.
And don't limit yourself on how long you got to sit down.
Mm-hmm. True. Before I continue on, my son got this habit. He like waving and saying, "Hey," while I'm doing my I got kids now, so yeah, yeah.
What's up, boy?
Yeah, he likes speaking, but that's so true. Y'all, yeah. I'm a father now. Yeah, I told you I gonna be seeing kids now off and on every now and
Yeah.
then.
Listen, your dynamic, your real life is different now. You are a family man. So listen, your podcast, your show, how you maneuver, it is now reflective
Mm-hmm.
of what is your everyday life. Them jokers like to come and wave to people. What up, dude? You know what I'm saying?
And my youngest little screaming his lungs out when I'm on here. I don't know, can y'all hear him? But he's back there just having a whole meltdown. But anyway, God bless him. But going back to your point, yeah, Daddy gonna continue doing what he's called to do. Anyways, yeah, I'm like that. But seriously, that rest part, that is so true, because y'all notice since I've been married, I used to be here every Friday.
Yeah, no.
But I have started to take the, breaks, spend time with my family. Then last year, my wife gave birth, and let me tell y'all what I did for my birthday. I went to the beach, and
And just chill.
yeah. And when I tell you, sat on the beach for hours doing nothing.
Listen. Me and my wife, well, listen, our vacation last year, we was in Florida. We went to Florida for a vacation. We went to the beach, took us to, we went to, my wife is definitely the coordinator. I just show up where I need to show up, and I just implement a couple things. I'll be like this, hey, there's a couple things I want to do, so just flip that in there some way, shape, or form. But
Mm-hmm.
we went to Cocoa Beach, and it was at night, sunset. It already, so and we was just sitting there, and the breeze off of the ocean was just hitting us, and it was as if the earth had just got quiet.
Mm.
And everybody that was on the beach was in their own little situation. Like, well, nobody bothering nobody. Everybody was in their own little situation. You know what I'm saying? Now, I did tell folks, listen, I do know how to swim, but I'm not rescuing nobody. Okay, I'm just not doing it. So if you get caught, you just get caught. But there was one particular moment when we had after we had ran up and down, let the water hit our feet, and then we just went sat down and posted up on the beach, and we was just chilling with each other. While just holding each other, whatever, just taking in the scenery, and it was like. And the only way I could describe it is like the water was just beating on the beach, but it was just like wind. It's just like fresh, brisk wind just hit us, and it was almost like the wind was just taking us in. You know what I'm saying? And it was like a whole nother, like in those moments, nothing mattered. It was peace. It was cool. We was with each other. I'm on my way back to the beach, but
Yeah.
but I feel you. I feel you. Trust. But
Yeah.
those moments are important. They are. They're important. They're essential, and especially now as a family. Uh, my wife just walked past. I guess we done changed our mind. But yeah, but no, yeah, those are important moments. I'm glad you got to have that moment. I did. I am.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
And I'm gonna have more of them this year. Yeah,
You sure
I'm gonna
are.
take some breaks this year. But before we end, I definitely gonna say this. I want to have you back on at some point this year to talk
Absolutely.
about how the experience been with going on the road and all that stuff because
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to hearing about all that God is going to be doing, and I want to
Yeah.
make sure I now when he comes out with something, he be posting all day every day. let, 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 let me tell you this. Y'all know how I am about support. You gonna be seeing me post and share stuff a lot, not just with him, but a lot of folks. Cause I don't want to hear no stuff
Absolutely.
I didn't know. Well, guess what? It was out there. I put it out
Right.
there.
Listen,
So
if at this stage of life, if they didn't know, it's because you didn't want to know.
period. Period. That part.
That's all.
So
You just didn't want to know.
just be on the lookout for this. When you see this, you know what time it is.
Man,
You know what time it is. So
man, oof. You know
man,
what? I'm looking at that. It's like when I see it now, I see the cover, and I just be like, I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, this. You have walked a life. You have
mm,
lived a life, and you have seen a lot. And I'm excited to see more. I am.
mm,
This is yeah. All
man,
right, all right,
yeah, yeah. We got to go. We've been on here for almost
right.
wow. So firstly, I want to thank TB2 for being here. It's like I said, it's been long overdue. But like I said, God has his own time. And that's one thing about me. I always follow God's timing when it comes to
Absolutely.
where I on here, even though because there's plenty of people I want on here, but I gotta wait for God to do only what God can do. That's not preacher talk. That's just me being who I am.
That's
So
obedience. That's
yeah.
all.
So real quick before I go, I just want to share with some quick announcements real quick because I want y'all to stay updated. Get ready. The next time I will be with you all is next Friday. I will be here on YouTube, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. We going back to the basics. And if y'all want to know what I mean by that, just tune in next Friday at 6 o'clock on all these platforms because
Yes, sir.
it's about to get where we got to go back to the basics, y'all. We got to also get ready, y'all. Get ready for the 9th anniversary episode of the Sunday Word Report. Y'all, I got 2 long running platforms.
Look
Lord.
at you. Listen.
Man,
Come
9
on,
years.
platforms and more to come. Come on. Come
It's
on.
9 years coming up on the last Sunday in this month. Get ready, y'all. See, I'll be joined by Melanie Washington, Kaylee Harris, KP Seema. We're going to be talking about do you have what it takes? We're going to be talking about David versus Goliath on the 4th Sunday exclusively on the Sunday Word Report. Every time I think about 2 long running shows, I'll be like, "Phew, that's a lot of
Okay.
work."
Man,
Yes,
I'm
and
tired. I'm tired for you.
yes, and God's telling me you're not done yet. So y'all pray for
Nope.
me. Pray for me. But we're gonna let you all go. Keep up with the God's Recording Podcast. Also, I tag TB2 in all the flyers leading for this episode. So y'all go follow him, keep up with him and everything that he's got going on, especially with this album coming up, because it's, man, I'm ready. I'm more ready now than I was before. Whew, March. Okay, I can wait. I can wait.
You can wait. Listen, it's gonna be February in 2 days. Don't worry about it.
Look at God. Look at God. I'm ready. I am ready. So that is it for we got to get out of here because we started to cut up. And when we cut up, we never gonna get off.
It's turning to something else. You gotta go get the babies, and I gotta go to an event now with the wife and her mom. So yeah.
Yes, most definitely. So we're gonna get off of here. Thank you all so very much. Until next time, this is Reverend Bertram BJ Major signing off, telling you all to stay great, stay safe, and be blessed.